My beautiful friend, today we speak about something that touches every heart, the art of letting go and trusting the universe. There are moments when we cling so tightly to outcomes, to people, to situations, believing that our worth depends on them. Yet true peace comes when we release that grip, when we open our hands and allow life to guide us. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means choosing trust over fear. It means believing that there is a power greater than you, guiding every step, arranging every detail, and preparing blessings beyond what you can imagine. There is a quiet strength in surrender that many people do not understand. We are often taught from childhood to fight, to struggle, to hold on tightly, and to resist anything that feels uncertain. Society praises the warrior who never bends, the one who never lets go, the one who clings until the very end. Yet true wisdom reveals that real strength does not come from grasping, from forcing, or from trying to control every outcome. True strength comes from surrender, an act of trust so powerful that it opens the doors for miracles. Surrender is not about giving up on life, nor is it about weakness or passivity. It is the recognition that you are held by something greater, that you do not need to micromanage the flow of the universe. When you surrender, you are not saying, "I quit." You are saying, "I trust." You are saying, "I release my need to know how everything will unfold, because I believe that life has a plan far more beautiful than anything I could design on my own." That is not weakness. That is courage in its highest form. Think about the strongest trees in the forest. They do not resist the wind. They bend with it. They flow with the storms that pass through. If they tried to stand rigid against the force of nature, they would break. Their strength lies not in their refusal to yield, but in their ability to surrender to the rhythm of life. In the same way, when we surrender, we become flexible, adaptable, and unshakable. We learn to move with the challenges rather than against them, and in that movement, we discover peace. Surrender requires trust, and trust requires love. It takes love for yourself to say, "I don't have to figure it all out right now." It takes love to whisper, "I am safe even when I don't know what comes next." Fear tries to convince you that you must control everything to be secure. But fear is a liar. Fear drains you, tightens you, and keeps you small. Surrender dissolves fear because it allows you to rest in the truth that you are never alone, that life is always guiding you, and that you are supported in ways unseen. Many people resist surrender because they believe it makes them vulnerable. They fear that if they let go, things will fall apart. But the truth is the opposite. When you hold on too tightly, you block the flow of good from entering your life. You cannot receive with clenched fists. You cannot allow blessings in if you are gripping the past, clinging to worry, or demanding that life unfold exactly on your terms. Surrender is the opening of your hands, the softening of your heart, and the willingness to say, "I am ready to receive what is meant for me." Think of all the times you tried to control the situation and it only brought stress, anxiety, or disappointment. And then think of the times when you finally let go, when you said, "I've done all I can and now I release it." What happened then? Most likely, life worked it out in a way you never expected, often better than you imagined. This is the gift of surrender. It creates space for solutions to appear, for healing to happen, for love to enter, and for doors to open. Surrender does not mean doing nothing. It means doing your part with love, and then allowing the universe to take care of the rest. It means planting the seed but not digging it up every day to see if it has grown. You water it, you nurture it, and then you trust the process. Imagine the exhaustion of trying to force a flower to bloom before its time. It cannot be done. In the same way, life has its seasons. There is a time for action and a time for letting go. Strength is knowing the difference. When you surrender, you reclaim your peace of mind. You no longer need to argue with reality. You no longer waste energy fighting what is. You accept, you breathe, and you flow. That acceptance brings freedom. That freedom is strength. For it is far harder to release than it is to hold on. Anyone can cling. It takes real courage to let go and trust. So today, allow yourself to soften. Let go of the struggle, the endless worry, the desire to control every detail. Say to yourself, I trust the flow of life. I am safe to surrender. I allow the universe to guide me. Feel the relief in those words. Feel the burden lift from your shoulders. That is strength. That is power. That is the art of living in harmony with life. When you surrender, you step into the truth that you were never meant to carry it all alone. You are supported. You are guided. You are loved. And in your surrender, you will find a strength greater than anything you ever knew before. There comes a moment in every life when we must choose to release the past. Not because it didn't matter, not because it didn't shape us, but because holding on to it keeps us from fully living today. The past is like a shadow, always behind you, always ready to follow, if you keep turning around to look. But shadows disappear when you face the light. The truth is, you cannot change yesterday, but you can allow it to teach you, to grow you, and then let it rest. Only then can you free the present, and only then can you live in the fullness of this moment. So many people carry yesterday with them as if it were a heavy bag filled with regret, anger, and old stories that no longer serve them. They replay conversations that are over, they revisit wounds that cannot be undone, and they dwell on choices they wish they had made differently. Yet the more you grip the past, the more it grips you back. It drains your energy, clouds your vision, and steals the joy that is available to you right now. Releasing the past is not denying that it happened. It is deciding that it no longer controls your peace, your happiness, or your future. When you release the past, you free yourself from old identities. You are not the mistakes you made, nor the pain you endured, nor the losses you suffered. You are not the labels others gave you. And you are not the person you once believed yourself to be when you didn't know any better. The past is simply a chapter, and you are free to write new ones. Every sunrise is an invitation to begin again. Every breath is proof that life continues to move forward, even if you try to hold still. The universe does not ask you to be perfect. It asks you to grow, to learn, and to let go of what is no longer meant for you. Forgiveness plays a powerful role in releasing the past. Forgiveness is not about saying what happened was right. It is about saying, I will no longer let this pain poison me. When you forgive others, you cut the cord that ties you to their actions. And when you forgive yourself, you open the door to healing. Self-forgiveness is essential, for how can you step freely into today if you are chained to guilt over yesterday? Remember, you did the best you could with the awareness you had then. Now you know more, now you see more, and now you can choose differently. That is the gift of growth. The present moment is always waiting for you, but it cannot reach you if your heart is trapped in what was. Imagine trying to drive a car while staring only at the rearview mirror. You would crash, not because the past has power, but because you are not paying attention to where you are going. Life is exactly like that. If you are too focused on what lies behind, you miss the beauty, the opportunities, the love, and the peace available in front of you. By releasing the past, you allow the present to unfold in all its richness. Letting go can feel frightening because it asks you to release the familiar. Even if the past was painful, it can feel safe simply because it is known. But true freedom comes when you step into the unknown with trust, when you open your hands and say, I am ready for something new. Life cannot fill hands that are still clinging tightly to what is gone. By loosening your grip, you invite new blessings, new people, new experiences, and new joy. The beauty of releasing the past is that it transforms how you see yourself. No longer are you someone defined by wounds. You become someone defined by resilience. No longer are you a victim of old stories. You are the author of your new story. When you choose to free the present, you step into your power. You begin to see that life is not against you. It has always been gently guiding you forward, nudging you to grow, teaching you through experiences, and reminding you that you are stronger than you realize. Take a moment now to breathe deeply and feel what it would be like to set down the weight of yesterday. Imagine yourself putting those memories, those regrets, those heavy emotions into a box and closing the lid. See yourself walking forward without them, lighter, freer, more open to what is here. Notice how peaceful it feels to let go. That peace is your natural state, the place where love and clarity live. Every day, you are given a choice to live in the memory of yesterday or to live in the miracle of today. When you release the past, you honor the lessons, but you stop reliving the pain. You step into the present, which is the only place you have power, the only place where love exists, the only place where miracles happen. Freedom begins the moment you decide to let go. And when you do, you will discover that the present is more than enough. It is beautiful, it is alive, and it is waiting for you to embrace it fully. There is a deep truth that brings comfort to the soul when we remember it. Life always supports us. Even in moments when the road feels uncertain, even when doors close, even when challenges arise that we cannot yet understand, the universe is never against us. It is always guiding, teaching, and carrying us toward our highest good. To trust this is to live with peace in your heart, because it means you no longer need to question whether you are safe, whether you are cared for, or whether things will turn out well. They always do. Life has been designed in such a way that you are supported, nurtured, and guided, even when your eyes cannot yet see it. Think for a moment about all the difficult times you have endured in the past. Somehow, even when you thought you would not make it through, you did. Somehow, when things seemed hopeless, solutions appeared. Somehow, when one path ended, another began to open. Looking back, you can see that life was always carrying you, even when you did not know it. The same is true now. If you trust that life is working for you, not against you, you can release the heavy burden of fear and rest in the certainty that you are supported. The mind often tries to resist this truth. It says, what if things go wrong? What if I fail? What if life forgets me? But life never forgets you. The very breath in your lungs is proof that life is flowing through you right now. The rising of the sun each morning is a reminder that you are cared for without needing to control anything. You do not command the earth to spin or the stars to shine, yet they do. That same intelligence that governs the universe is guiding your journey. To trust that life supports you is to know that you are part of something far greater than yourself, and that something is always arranging circumstances in your favor. When challenges come, it is natural to ask, why is this happening to me? But if you look more deeply, you will see that challenges are not punishments. They are invitations. They call you to grow, to expand, to release what no longer serves you, and to step into a new version of yourself. Life supports you not by keeping everything comfortable, but by stretching you toward your true potential. Just as a seed must crack open before it can become a tree, sometimes we must be broken open before we can step into our fullness. That is not cruelty. That is love in disguise. Trusting life means shifting your perspective from fear to faith. Instead of asking, what if this goes wrong? You ask, How is this guiding me? What lesson is here? What blessing is being prepared? This shift does not erase challenges, but it transforms how you experience them. When you trust that life supports you, even difficulties become part of a larger story of growth. You no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstances, but as someone being guided, shaped, and carried by an unseen hand. Many people spend their days trying to control every outcome, believing that safety comes from managing every detail. But true safety comes from trust. Control is exhausting. It comes from fear. Trust is liberating. It comes from love. Imagine walking across a bridge. If you trust that the bridge will hold you, you walk freely, enjoying the view. If you doubt, every step feels heavy and uncertain. Life is that bridge. It was built to hold you. Trusting it allows you to walk in peace. This trust also opens the door for miracles. When you release the need to control, you make space for unexpected blessings to arrive. Have you ever noticed that the most beautiful moments in life often come when you least expect them? The friend who shows up just when you needed support. The opportunity that appears when you thought all doors were closed. The healing that comes when you stopped forcing it. All of these are signs that life is supporting you. The universe is constantly arranging people, places, and circumstances for your highest good. Trusting that life supports you also means trusting yourself, for you are part of life. Your desires, your dreams, and your intuition are not random. They are guidance from within. When you honor your heart and take steps toward what feels true, life rises to meet you. It sends the right people, the right resources, and the right opportunities. You are never walking alone. You are always held, always guided, always loved. So breathe deeply and let this truth sink into your being. Life supports me. Say it silently, say it aloud, and let it become the foundation of your faith. Even when you cannot see the full picture, you can trust the process. Even when you don't understand, you can trust the unfolding. Even when you feel afraid, you can rest in the certainty that life is carrying you exactly where you are meant to be. And in that trust, there is peace. In that peace, there is strength. And in that strength, there is freedom, the freedom to live fully, love deeply, and walk boldly into the future, knowing that life has never failed you and never will. So much of our suffering comes from the need to control. We try to control people, outcomes, timing, and even the way life should unfold. We believe that if we could just manage every detail, we would finally feel safe. Yet the harder we grasp, the more tense and anxious we become. Control is born out of fear, the belief that if we do not hold tightly, everything will fall apart. But life does not respond to fear. Life responds to trust. When you replace control with faith, you discover a peace and power that no amount of forcing or clinging can ever bring. Faith is not about knowing every step of the journey. It is about trusting that the ground will appear beneath your feet as you walk. It is about believing that even when the path is hidden, you are being guided. Faith says, I may not understand right now, but I trust that this is leading me where I need to go. Control tries to dictate the journey, while faith allows the journey to unfold. Control restricts, but faith expands. Control makes you rigid, while faith makes you free. Think about the times in your life when you tried to control everything. Perhaps you wanted someone to behave a certain way, or you wanted an outcome to arrive on your timeline, or you feared that if you didn't keep pushing, things would fall apart. What happened then? Most likely you felt stressed, drained, and disappointed. Now think of the times when you released control, when you surrendered your need to manage every detail and simply trusted that life was working for you. Somehow, things flowed more smoothly, didn't they? The right people showed up. Unexpected opportunities appeared. Situations resolve themselves without you forcing them. That is the power of faith. Faith is not weakness, it is strength. It takes far more courage to trust the unseen than to cling to what you know. It is easy to grasp, to demand, to worry, and to plan endlessly. It takes bravery to open your hands and say, "Why trust? I allow. I believe." Faith is the language of the heart. It speaks gently, reminding you that you are safe, that you are guided, and that you are supported even when you cannot see the full picture. Control shouts in panic, but faith whispers peace. Replacing control with faith means living from love rather than fear. Fear says, "If I don't hold on tightly, I will lose everything." Love says, "Why trust that what is meant for me will stay, and what is not will gently leave to make space for something better." Fear tries to build walls of protection, while love opens doors of possibility. When you act from faith, you allow yourself to move with the flow of life rather than against it. You stop forcing and start allowing. You stop clinging and start receiving. This does not mean you stop taking action. Faith does not sit idle. It does what it can in the present moment, then releases the rest to the universe. Imagine planting a seed. You prepare the soil, water it, and give it sunlight. That is your part. But you cannot force the seed to sprout by pulling at it or demanding it grow faster. The growth happens in its own time, in ways unseen. That is life. Faith is planting the seed, doing your part with love, and then trusting the unseen process that brings it to bloom. The more you practice faith, the lighter you become. You begin to realize that you were never meant to carry everything alone. You are co-creating with the universe. There is a divine intelligence that knows more than your limited vision ever could. It sees the bigger picture, it knows the right timing, and it guides you toward what is truly for your highest good. Control says, "It has to happen this way right now." Faith says, "I release my timeline, and I trust the divine timing of life." One brings tension, the other brings peace. Replacing control with faith is also about trusting yourself. When you have faith in life, you begin to have faith in your own ability to handle whatever comes. You no longer need to plan for every possible outcome, because you trust that no matter what happens, you will find the strength and wisdom to move through it. Faith in life and faith in yourself go hand in hand, creating an inner foundation of calm and confidence. So breathe deeply and imagine what it would feel like to release the need to control. Imagine placing every worry, every outcome, every fear into the hands of the universe and saying, "I trust, I let go, I allow." Feel how light your body becomes when you do this. Feel the peace that arises when you no longer carry the weight of trying to control what was never yours to manage. That is the gift of faith. When you replace control with faith, you align yourself with the natural flow of life. You open the doors for miracles. You create space for joy. You allow love to guide you. And most of all, you remember the truth. You were never meant to force life. You were meant to trust it. I am safe to let go. These words are simple, but when you allow them to sink deeply into your heart, they carry the power to transform your entire life. Letting go has always been one of the hardest lessons for the human spirit because we are taught to hold on tightly. To people, to outcomes, to memories, to stories about who we are. We fear that if we release our grip, we will lose something essential or that life will not catch us if we fall. But the truth is that letting go does not mean loss. It means freedom. It means trust. It means opening your hands so that something new, something better, something truer can enter. And when you affirm, "I am safe to let go," you remind yourself that there is nothing to fear in releasing, for life always carries you gently to where you are meant to be. Letting go begins with the recognition that holding on is exhausting. Think of the energy it takes to cling tightly to a rope. Your muscles tense, your hands ache, your body grows weary. The longer you hold, the heavier it feels. But the moment you release, relief floods in. The same is true with the burdens of the past, the worry about the future, and the need to control every detail of the present. When you cling to them, they weigh you down. But when you let them go, you breathe again, you soften, and you return to peace. Many people believe that letting go makes them vulnerable, that if they release control, they will be left with nothing. But the opposite is true. Letting go creates space. It clears the clutter from your heart, your mind, and your life. It is only when you let go of what is no longer serving you that the universe can place something better in your hands. You cannot receive a gift if your hands are full of what you no longer need. Affirming, "I am safe to let go," is the key to opening yourself to greater love, deeper peace, and brighter opportunities. Letting go also means releasing the weight of the past. So many carry old wounds, regrets, or mistakes like heavy stones in a bag strapped to their back. Each step forward is slowed by the weight of yesterday. Yet the past is over. It cannot be changed, but it can be released. By letting go of what has already happened, you honor the lessons without reliving the pain. You recognize that you are no longer the same person who made those choices or lived through those moments. You are wiser now. You are stronger now. You are free now, if only you allow yourself to be. When you say, "I am safe to let go," you are giving yourself permission to put down the heavy bag and walk lightly into the present moment. Letting go also applies to the future. How many hours of peace are lost to worry about what might happen? We try to plan for every possibility, to predict every outcome, to control what is not yet here. But the truth is, the future does not belong to fear. It belongs to trust. When you affirm, "I am safe to let go," you are releasing the need to control tomorrow and choosing to live fully today. You are stepping into faith that the universe has already prepared the path, and all you need to do is walk it one step at a time. Sometimes letting go means releasing people, those who cannot walk with you on your journey anymore. It does not mean you stop loving them. It means you love yourself enough to create space for relationships that honor your worth. It means you no longer chase what does not value you. You trust that those who are meant for you will remain, and those who leave are making space for what is aligned with your highest good. Saying, "I am safe to let go," allows you to walk forward without resentment, knowing that endings are not failures. They are transitions into something greater. Every time fear whispers that letting go is dangerous, you can answer with love, "I am safe to let go." These words carry the vibration of trust, reminding you that you are always supported. You do not fall into emptiness when you release. You fall into the arms of life itself. And life, in its infinite wisdom, never fails to catch you. So close your eyes and breathe deeply. Imagine the weight of your worries, your regrets, your attachments, dissolving into the light as you whisper, "I am safe to let go." Feel the freedom in those words. Feel the relief in surrender. Feel the peace in knowing that you are supported, guided, and loved beyond measure. The moment you truly believe that you are safe to let go, fear loses its power over you. The past loosens its grip. The future stops haunting you. The present opens wide, full of beauty and possibility. And you finally are free to live with an open heart, knowing that life is always carrying you exactly where you need to be. Life is a river, ever flowing, ever moving, carrying us forward whether we resist or surrender. Too often, we cling to the edges, holding onto the rocks of fear, doubt, and control, believing that safety lies in gripping tightly. Yet true peace is found when we release our hold, when we trust the water to carry us, When we allow the current to guide us to places we may never have imagined, but are always meant for our highest good. To embrace the flow of life is to surrender to its wisdom, knowing that each twist and turn, each rapid and calm stretch, has a purpose in shaping us. When we resist the flow, we create tension within ourselves. We argue with reality. We dwell in shoulds and musts, and we wear ourselves down trying to push against what is. But life becomes infinitely lighter when we soften our grip and lean into the current. The universe has a rhythm, and so does your soul. You were never meant to force. You were meant to align. You were never meant to live in fear. You were meant to trust. Embracing the flow does not mean living without direction. It means setting intentions with love and clarity, then trusting that life will orchestrate the perfect timing and the perfect unfolding. It means stepping forward with open arms rather than clenched fists. It means choosing curiosity instead of worry, faith instead of doubt. When you open yourself to the flow, you stop asking, "What if it doesn't work?" and instead whisper, "What if it all works out better than I ever dreamed?" Each season of life has its own current. Sometimes it rushes forward, pulling us into growth, expansion, and change. Other times it slows, inviting us into stillness, reflection, and rest. Both are essential, both are sacred. If you find yourself in a season of stillness, let it be. Trust that the pause is preparing you for movement. If you are in a season of speed, let the energy carry you without resistance. You are always where you are meant to be. When you embrace the flow, you also release the illusion of control. You understand that clinging too tightly to outcomes blocks the natural unfolding. Think of a flower. You cannot force it to bloom, and yet it blooms at the exact right moment. You are no different. Your desires, your healing, your manifestations all have their perfect timing. The flow of life knows when and how to deliver what is right for you. Surrendering to this flow is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is strength. It takes courage to release the need to control every detail, to let go of fear, and to step into trust. It is in this surrender that you discover your true power. Life does not punish you, it supports you. Life does not abandon you, it guides you. Every experience, even the difficult ones, is a part of your journey home to yourself. When storms appear on your path, the flow will not abandon you. It will carry you through. Just as rivers carve valleys and create new landscapes, challenges shape you into who you are meant to be. You are not here to stay stuck at one bend in the river. You are here to be carried forward, always moving, always growing, always discovering more of who you are. Begin each day with the intention to flow. Say to yourself, "Today I let go of resistance. Today I trust life to guide me. Today I open my heart to the current of love, abundance, and peace that is always available to me." Affirmations like these align your energy with the natural rhythm of life, making it easier for opportunities, solutions, and miracles to find you. You are safe in the flow. You are supported in the flow. When you surrender, you make space for life to surprise you with beauty, joy, and blessings far beyond your imagination. No longer do you need to fight, chase, or beg. You are already enough, already carried, already loved. So breathe deeply. Release your grip. Imagine yourself stepping into the river of life, feeling its gentle pull, knowing it carries you exactly where you need to be. Trust in the journey. Even when you cannot see the destination, embrace the flow of life, and you will find peace, freedom, and a deep sense of connection to the universe. For in the flow, you are never lost, you are always home.